Across the 47 counties is concerned, and would like to bring in our reporter K24 Mwangi, who's joining us live from Nakuru County. Among the priority stories for him has been the upgrade of Nakuru from a town to a city. Let's get to listen in on whether or not he has any updates for us in as far as that issue is concerned, as well as any other from Nakuru County. Thank you, K24, for joining us once again on the show. Kindly let us know what you've gathered from Nakuru this far.
It is indeed a good morning, Joroge, from Nakuru County, and we are at the Lions Park in Nakuru town, in the midst of the city, and this is the biggest they can afford in terms of a leisure park for these guys who want to just relax and maybe wait for a vehicle, or maybe wait for somebody who is coming to visit them. And I am joined by residents of this area, a pastor and other stakeholders, most of them being hawkers, and they are saying they need to be heard for this city to be called a city, for this town to be upgraded. They are saying that there are some things that they have reservations from, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of workforce, in terms of industrialization. And now joining me is one of the residents, a pastor, who is going to tell us exactly what they are feeling about this upgrade. Mchungaji, kwa Kiswahili ama kwa Kiingereza kama utaweza, mji wa Nakuru unaweza kupandishwa hadhi na kuwa mji mkuu. Unaitwa nani, na pengine utaanza kwa majina, utuambie, je, wewe kama mchungaji maoni yako ni yapi?
Mimi kama mchungaji naitwa Pastor Francis Setan. Mimi nimezaliwa hapa Nakuru, na mimi nataka niwaambie vizuri kabisa, hii Nakuru haiwezi kuwa city kwa sababu kwanza haijekaa round, imekaa kombo. Pia hapa kuna wakaji wengi sana wako hapa katikati wanajisaidia. Na tena saizi ikikuwa city, watu wengi hapa watateseka, watakosa kazi. Ukiangalia kama hii kiwanja tuko, watu wengi sana wamelala hapa kwa sababu wana kazi. Zaisi Nakuru haiwezi itwa city kwa sababu mambo mengi imeharibika. Na hapa nataka niwaambie kabisa, tunajaribu sana, governor mwenye ataingia jaribu sana kuweka hii city, kwa sababu ukiangalia vizuri, uangalie nyumba moja iko huko, ingine iko huko, zingine ziko mbalimbali. Na city ni kitu inatakana iwe round na iwe kitu maridadi.
Naam.
Sasa kweli kabisa inaweza kuwa city.
Naam. Mpe mwenzako, utaanza na jina kakangu, na utanieleza iwapo wewe unaunga mkono Nakuru kuwa mji mkuu.
Mimi pangu majina naitwa Roshke James.
Naam, utashika kipaza sauti vizuri. Naam.
Kwa jina naitwa Roshke James. Mimi ni mkaaji wa hapa. Lakini kulingana na vile mimi naangalia, naona miundo msingi hapa Nakuru haimo, kama drainage ni mbovu, huku chini kukinyesha saizi hata kuvuka pale chini inakuwa ni shida. Kwanza watengeneze hizo vitu.
Kwa hivyo maoni yako ni kwamba hatuna miundo msingi inafaa.
Inaweka hadi iwe hapa pawe mji mkuu yani. Asante.
Pengine kakangu unaweza kuja, njoo hapa. Wewe nimeona kwamba wewe ni muuzaji wa mali ya kutembeza ama hoka kwa kimombo. Pengine maoni yako ni yapi? Nitakushikia.
Maoni yangu ni kusema Nakuru kuwa city bado, sababu hata jamu yenyewe inaonesha juu kitokea kitu kama ajali kidogo ama nini, jamu town inakuwa mingi na hata kazi inasimama. Pia ukiangalia wafanyabiashara pia tuko chini kwa biashara. So kwa maoni yangu bado.
Naam. Pengine tunachukua muuzaji mwingine mmoja, njoo, usiogope. Hii ni K24 na wanakupenda pia. Wewe kama kijana ambaye pengine naona ni machachari, unaona mji wa Nakuru ukiwa mji mkuu utasaidika? Kwa majina kwanza.
Kwa majina naitwa Edja Mwangi. Mimi kwa biashara hii yenye tunafanya hapa naona hatutasaidika. Haingefaa kwa mji.
Naam.
Tangu ni hayo.
Asante. Pengine wewe naona unauza vitu, pia wewe ni hoka pale. Je, uko tayari kwa mji wa Nakuru kuwa mji mkuu?
Niko upande wangu, inafaa ipatiwe muda kwanza. Kwa majina naitwa David Njuguna Mwangi, lakini inafaa ipatiwe muda kwanza, waweze kule bungeni kwa waweze kusikizana na kutengenezwa vile vitu ambazo zinafaa kuwekwa bado zimalizwe, ndipo iweze kupatiwa jina la kuwa capital city.
Naam. Sam Njoroge, those are just some of the things that these residents of Nakuru have said. They are willing to have this city or this town to be a city, but they have reservations in terms of infrastructure, in terms of employment. What are the professionals saying? What are the lawyers saying? What are the leaders saying? That is the segment that is coming up next after this. When we come back right to you, we'll be having professionals, lawyers, and also other leaders from this region who will be explaining to us exactly why they want this town to be a city. Back to you, my camera person is John Wangombe. My name is Kigotho Mwangi. I take you back to Sam Njoroge for the daily brief.
Kigotho, just one question. When Nakuru County hosted Mashujaa Day, not Mashujaa, but Madaraka Day, it was lauded for having free Wi-Fi within the city. Is that still the situation even today?
I'm sorry, Njoroge, but that is not the case today. We are using our own data bundles, and the residents here are using their data bundles. So it was meant for that very day, and then it vanished. From what I gather from these people is that they need employment. They don't need to be given anything to go online. They can afford that, but they need infrastructure. They need employment. They need to be incorporated, and there was no public participation in this. They will be elaborating this when they come in as professionals and also as leaders from this area.
All right, thank you so much, Kigotho. We'll be waiting for more updates from your end in the course of the daily brief. At one point, Lions Park was quite a spot for residents of Nakuru, courtesy of free Wi-Fi, but now we are told that that is no longer the case. So even as this particular town plans to upgrade into a city, could it be an issue that could be revisited? Well, we shall wait and see. We did tell you also today, pursuant to Article 126 of the Constitution, the Senate is having its second Senate Mashinani initiative in Kitui County, and we've seen the senators this morning just, sit in various committees and understand the issues that are affecting devolution, understand the issues that are proximal to the residents of Kitui in as far as devolution is concerned. So let's cross over back to Kitui and get a feel of the events that are coming forth from this particular county and what senators are currently discussing as of now.
You have raised very pertinent issues. We will develop the minutes for this meeting, and I would suggest that you liaise with our clerk so that we can make sure that all matters are picked, and whatever needs to be done on our part we'll do. But please engage us, and I hope the meeting has been useful. As my members have said that you have the responsibility, the first call of oversight, and don't fear, it is your job. I think, as mentioned by my chair, that the devolution is under threat, none other than from the executive itself. What we have gone through in the division of revenue bill is serious, but we will continue fighting. And in fact, we will not give up. As we sit in this town, we are going to pass Kara, and going forward soon, we are going to have the money the county is released. The executive will bring the budget to you again, but make sure that you do your job. Literally, you write the budget. The budget is written by you because you pass it. So don't blame anybody. And if anybody is playing some monkey business, deny them the money. You have the right. And finally, make sure that you look at the auditor reports, auditor general's report. I think you don't leave it to the Senate alone. Your county is very well. Auditor report is sent to you also. We have not had assemblies engaging the executive on the auditor report, auditor general's report. No, please do that job seriously, and we, as the Constitution says, we will, support the counties and their governments. The governments are the assemblies and the executive. It's not only the governor's office which is the government. Thank you very much. Time.
There's a general practice that the audit reports from your committee, majority leader, should be forwarded to the Senate Audit Committee. There's a practice where the Senate committee, our CPI committee, shares reports with the counterpart committee, so that the counties do not contradict themselves or send different information. I think that is something that we should put in place in Kitui. Thank you.
And also, Chair, sorry to come to you. Sometimes ideas fly. Kindly, I'm asking of you, as you do your budgets, I had a whole day yesterday with my colleague, Senator Musuruve, the two of us who represent people with disabilities, and there is a complaint that there is no standalone budget for development for PWDs. Kindly allocate some money. Is it 9 billion? Give persons with disability 50 or even 100 million, whatever you can, so that it can go for assistive devices. It can help in employing, teachers in those special units, creating awareness, those kind of things. Because people with disabilities here are really suffering, and that is our role to do. Kindly assist us to have a budget line for disability. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think
the meeting with the committee is adjourned. Committees. Yes. Yeah, committees. I say committees, not committees. Is adjourned. We will, I don't know, Secretariat, we'll move to the next meeting of, I think, the stakeholders meeting on Kara. I think there was supposed to be a meeting. Whether we'll adjourn for a few minutes and get back. What are you suggesting on Kara?
we just proceed because the CC is here.
Okay. Now, Kara has been published. That's the county allocation revenue bill. We intend to finalize it while we are here, do the second reading today and do the third reading tomorrow. We'd like to have your inputs. I think we have no time on our side. You know the crisis we are facing in the country as a whole. So we will quickly, for 1 hour, go through this bill.
So now in Kitui, that is the committee, the Select Committee on National Planning and Finance of the Senate sitting in Kitui County. They're just looking into some of definitely an event that we are monitoring for you right here at K24 TV. Now, we'd like to take you to Uasin Gishu County and bring in our reporter, Timothy Simwa, who's joining us live from this region. Among the stories that you'll be following up on, Timothy, is that the Belarus ambassador is in Uasin Gishu today.
Yes, Sam, you're right. Of course, this morning, the Belarus ambassador to Kenya paid a courtesy call to Uasin Gishu Governor Jackson Mandago. And a few minutes ago, their consultative meeting just ended in a press. And of course, they did divulge to the members of the press a number of issues they've been talking about for almost 2 hours. And it largely concentrated on relationship between Kenya and Belarus and just how the two countries can foster these relations that will also go a long way to improve lives of their respective citizens. Of course, the key among the issues they discussed with Governor Jackson Mandago was the issue of trade, and especially North Rift being a region that is predominantly practicing farming. That's an issue that was given precedence, and of course the two having talked up just about the ways and some of the crops that these two countries can actually promote, and at the end of the day make sure that they are improving lives, rather the living standards of their respective citizens. Maybe Sam, you just allow me to play for you, rather give a chance for the sounds of the two, the governor and the ambassador, so that we can also listen in to what they said.
And sell to them. They have interest also in agricultural equipment. We have Belarus tractors that they are also promoting. And one of the things that we have appealed to them is, as they think of setting up an assembly plant of Belarus tractors, we are asked them to actually choose Eldred or anywhere in the Norep counties that is basically driven by agriculture as their mainstay in the economy. So we as county government of Uasin Gishu, and I would say also on behalf of Norep, that we welcome His Excellency the Ambassador of Belarus to Kenya, and even business men and women from Belarus to visit this region and explore the opportunities that are available. As you are aware, as a county which hosts the 3rd international airport in the country, and already with 4 international cargo flights coming in, we have a huge potential in terms of export business, which we would want to grow using agriculture. And as county government, you know, we are promoting commercial cash crops like coffee, avocado, macadamia, and also in the industry of flowers, where they have a lot of interest. We'd also want to see other sectors that we would want to grow, particularly for export market. Our appeal to the Chamber of Commerce, our National Chamber of Commerce, the County Chamber of Commerce, is to hook our farmers and even our farmer cooperatives so that we go to contract farming. That is what we are actually looking at. It is the key thing that we would want to drive, and Chamber of Commerce here would be a very critical agent and entity that is going to facilitate that connection of cooperatives to the market, and so that our farmers can have the confidence to produce, knowing there is a guaranteed market with known prices and guaranteed returns for their production. And that's why we are working very closely with the Chamber of Commerce. We want to commercialize farming, and the role of government is to facilitate. We want to run away from the traditional thinking where farmers would always think that government is their first market. We want farmers to have options on who buys their products, and those options would include government and other players in the industry. So we would want our Chamber of Commerce to facilitate our cooperatives as they come together and even increase their production and bulk their production. We would want our farmers to begin signing up for contract farming. And that is what we are looking forward to as County Government of Uasin Gishu and as the North Rift Economic Bloc. We would want to pursue that for purposes of farming. They have other interests other than farming. They have also interest in the construction industry, and they have technologies that can be used for affordable housing. I'm pleased that this morning, part of the directors from the Chamber of Commerce and the business community that came in together with this delegation are actually players in the construction industry, not just in this county but also in this region, and we are encouraging them to explore and partner with their Belarus colleagues and bring in affordable technologies that we can use to build houses that affords our people decent shelter. This again will add value to the national government agenda of affordable housing if we can have as many people adopting this technology, whether private or government. And we would want to encourage that private sector drives these agendas. It is much faster in terms of governance, it is better, and it has
Well, Sam, that was Uasin Gishu Governor Jackson Mandago trying to elaborate the discussions that they just had with Ambassador Roman Kosi, that is Belarus ambassador to Kenya, having talked about a number of issues and just how the two countries can benefit through trade and even through the construction industry. Of course, the governor did emphasize the issue of diversification. This is a debate that has been raging around for quite some time. We know that as Uasin Gishu or North Rift region predominantly practices maize farming. It's a sector that has, I would maybe rightly say, it has undergone or rather gone through a tumultuous period for the last 2 years. Farmers complaining that the crop is not paying back anymore. The government is actually paying lip attention to the sector of maize. And of course, there have been some leaders who have been recommending to farmers that perhaps time has come for them also to venture into growth of other crops that will also generate cash or a living for them. Some of them have actually adamantly held that maize has been part of them. It's a traditional way of living. It's not actually advisable for them maybe to venture into doing other things. But of course, with time and of course with this kind of visits and encouragement from the government and the county government, perhaps we'll also make sure that there'll be a shift of cash crops, or rather crops that are grown in this region, for as long as these farmers are guaranteed that at the end of the day they are bound to benefit. But away from that, Sam, yesterday we were also following up on another story in which last week a police officer was found dead at her apartment, and yesterday one of the suspects was arraigned before the court ordered that the suspect be taken to hospital. This morning again, of course, the police officers have reported back that Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital has recommended that the suspect continue being, of course, held at the facility because the current health of the suspect cannot allow him to stand at trial. This is after the police told us that the suspect
had tried taking his own life by, of course, drinking a chemical just before his arrest. So the court has given them more time. The suspect is set to be arraigned, of course, on 19th. That will be on Thursday this week before the High Court Eldoret to answer to charges of murder of that particular police officer sometime last week. It's a story that we continue to follow up and just to continue updating our viewers. And also the course coming up this week, Sam, lest we forget, is that an incident that happened sometime here in Eldoret in April, where a Moi University student was attacked and killed. So the suspect had applied to be released on bail. The court had rejected the plea. We are told that the lawyer will also back to court tomorrow to try and convince the court for the second time to release him on bail. Whether that will happen, with just a matter of wait and see by tomorrow, Sam. So all these issues, Sam, we promise that we'll be keeping tabs just to know what will be happening. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Timothy Simwa, for that update live from Uasin Gishu County. This hour has seen us get what is happening in Uasin Gishu. We've also been to Nakuru. We've also been to Kitui County, where we've seen the Senate Finance and National Planning Committee, conduct its sittings from Kitui County and discuss pertinent issues that have got to do with budgets, finance and appropriation, even at the county level. We did also promise you that this hour we shall be looking at feedback online on what you've been saying. Hashtag K24 Daily Brief, also hashtag various issues that have been discussed in as far as the global and national discourse is concerned. And right now, would like to just come over to this part of the studio. This is the touch screen, and we would like to just get a feel of some of the hashtags that have been dominating banter online. And let's just get on to Twitter and just get a feel of what has been trending. Now, this is hashtag Peter Tabichi, the winner of the Global Teacher Prize 2019. He is currently in the US, where he will be attending the 74th United Nations General Assembly. And around 14 hours ago, he had the rare privilege of meeting the President of the United States of America, that is Donald Trump. And courtesy of that, he has generated quite a conversation online. So let's get a feel of some of the issues that have been raised in as far as that hashtag is concerned. And at Y Quietus says, this guy, teacher brother Peter Tabichi, is the guy that has inspired me most in 2019. Be passionate about what you're doing. Go to that extra mile to do it, and stay humble and true to whom you are, and watch. That is one of the issues that we have gotten right here on the show. Nelly Koecheri says, this is what we usually sing when Jesus say yes, nobody can say no. Pongezi, teacher Peter Tabichi. That is Nelly Koecheri on Twitter. We also have another one here, Marwa James, who says, Peter Tabichi is a model of passion in your life. This thing can turn to be the best thing you never imagined. Now keep loving what you do and all will be well. Quite an inspirational note that is. Captain Korir says, being passionate to your job is what Peter Tabichi has displayed. Teachers worldwide should echo him. Lessons learned. Let's move on to another here. Sir Jonathan _KE. Peter Tabichi was a regular Kenyan teacher. It's no longer about your career line, but the passion. Let's move on to yet another one. Agnes Kagore on Twitter. This is what you're saying, that his tribe didn't speak for him, nor did connections get him to meet US President Donald Trump at the White House. His passion did. A critical question: what informs the course of what you do on a daily basis? Well, a Jason _Sagini 2019 Global Teachers Prize winner Peter Tabichi met USA President Donald Trump, and Tabichi will set a record yet again as the first such professional in Kenya to address the 74th session of the United Nations General Assembly. It kicks off on the 17th, and we expect the first high-level general debate to be conducted on the 24th of September, according to a communique we received from the United Nations. Now, at David Indasi, this is what you say: congratulations for your achievements so far, Peter Tabichi. You are an inspiration for all teachers globally, and for the rest, your passion is a source of inspiration. Let's get on to yet another one here. Thomas Okut, you said the great powers of the world may have done wonders in giving the world an industrial look, but the great gift still has to come from Africa, giving the world a more human face. Congratulations, Peter. Still on Twitter, quite a lot people are saying, as far as this issue is concerned, Owino Richard, as far as Peter Tabichi, the hashtag is concerned, you say, Mwalimu Peter Tabichi and his recent achievements has made me rethink about being a teacher. Now, don't ignore the little thing you have in hand, because it can make you shine. It reminds me of that Sunday school hymn, this little light of mine, I am going to make it shine. And he will be addressing the United Nations General Assembly, the 74th edition. And among the issues that will be discussed during this assembly is SDG number 4. That's all about quality education. So yet another first from Kenya. Congratulations, Peter, and to all of us, may we learn our lessons. Well, we take a break at that note, but the Daily Brief continues after these messages. We'll see you on the other side.